When we think about refrigerating food, the modern refrigerator immediately comes to mind. But there are communities that still keep their food fresh without relying on this technology. The Amish, known for living without electricity and leading a simple life, have effective and practical methods for preserving food without refrigeration. These methods not only reflect ingenuity, but also a deep knowledge of traditions and how to take advantage of natural resources. In this script, we will explore how the Amish manage to keep food fresh, ensuring its safety and good taste without using modern technology. One of the most common methods the Amish use to keep food fresh and in good condition for long periods is the use of basements and underground pantries, also known as root cellars. These underground structures are an ingenious example of how to take advantage of the thermal properties of the soil for food preservation, following traditional techniques that have been passed down from generation to generation. Basements and underground pantries are dug to a sufficient depth so that temperatures remain more stable and cool throughout the year. The temperature of the soil, which generally varies between 50 degrees F and 59 degrees F, 10 degrees C and 15 degrees C, provides a naturally refrigerated environment. This feature allows the Amish to store food without the need for electricity or modern technology. In addition, the humidity of the subsoil is regulated naturally, creating a perfect microclimate for the preservation of certain foods. The design of these pantries is crucial for their efficiency. Generally, basements and underground pantries are built with stone or brick walls and earthen floors. Stone walls help maintain freshness and constant temperature, while the earthen floor allows some permeability, thus regulating humidity. In addition, access to air through small vents facilitates circulation, preventing the environment from becoming too humid, which could cause mold to develop. In these spaces, the Amish mainly store tubers such as potatoes, carrots, and turnips, as these vegetables require cold and humid temperatures to stay fresh for long periods. Onions and garlic are also stored, which require slightly drier conditions, but still cool. Other products that benefit from this storage are apples and pears, which can be kept fresh for months thanks to the stable temperature and low exposure to light. In addition to fresh produce, the Amish often store fermented foods, such as cabbage, to make sauerkraut and other pickles. The fermentation process is favored by the constant temperature, which helps to develop the flavor and preserve the products for a long time without deteriorating. The use of ice houses by the Amish is a clear example of their ability to find sustainable and efficient solutions in a world where access to modern technology is limited or even rejected. These ice houses represent a traditional and passive refrigeration system that has been used for centuries, long before the invention of electric refrigeration. Ice houses are designed with a particularly robust and well-insulated structure, which is key to their efficient operation. Ice houses are built with materials that have natural insulating properties, such as wood and straw, sometimes supplemented with sawdust, which also serves to separate the ice blocks and minimize direct contact between them, thus reducing heat transfer. Roofs are usually sloped and covered with waterproof material to prevent water seepage and direct exposure to the sun. All this is aimed at maintaining a temperature low enough to prevent rapid melting of the stored ice. In some cases, the structure is partially underground, taking advantage of the thermal stability of the subsoil, which adds one more layer of thermal protection. Ice harvesting is a process that usually involves the entire Amish community, reflecting their spirit of collaborative work and mutual support. During the winter months, when lakes and rivers freeze over, the ice is cut into large blocks. These blocks can weigh between 220 and 330 pounds, 100 and 150 kilograms each, and are moved to ice houses using horse-drawn sleds. This work demands considerable coordination and physical effort, but it also reinforces the sense of community and self-sufficiency that characterizes the Amish. Once stored, the ice blocks remain in the houses for much of the year. The thickness of the ice, combined with the excellent insulation of the walls, allows the ice to be preserved well into the summer. This method allows food to be kept fresh without the use of electricity, preserving perishable products such as milk, butter, and meat. In addition, the cold humidity of the ice helps to create an environment conducive to storing vegetables, which prolongs their freshness without compromising their flavor or nutritional value. Spring water coolers involve placing food containers within streams of cold water that naturally flow through their properties. This technique takes advantage of the constant temperature of groundwater, which even in the hot summer months remains at an ideal temperature of around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 to 13 degrees Celsius. This temperature range is low enough to preserve perishable products and prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. This system is particularly beneficial for the preservation of dairy products such as milk, cream, and cheese. Dairy products are highly susceptible to spoilage due to the proliferation of bacteria when they are in warm environments. However, by being submerged or surrounded by fresh water, their shelf life is considerably extended. The Amish also use this method to store other foods, such as fruits and vegetables, which require cool conditions to prevent accelerated ripening and prolong their freshness. The infrastructure of these coolers is usually very simple, yet ingenious. Food containers, which are generally airtight containers, are strategically placed in areas where the spring stream flows with sufficient force to provide constant cooling. These containers can be metal buckets or sealed wooden boxes, which allow water to circulate around them without coming into direct contact with food, thus maintaining their hygiene and freshness. In addition, the water current acts as a natural cooling agent, taking advantage of the thermal energy of the groundwater without any additional cost or environmental impact. This method is also an example of the concept of passive cooling, a technique that is being increasingly considered in the field of sustainability and green architecture. Passive cooling involves the use of natural processes, such as evaporation or heat transfer, to keep temperatures low without relying on energy-consuming modern technologies. In this sense, the Amish show us a more environmentally friendly alternative, which aligns with the principles of self-sufficiency and low ecological impact. Food preservation through canning and pickling is a central practice in the Amish lifestyle, not only as a way to ensure food during the winter, but also as a reflection of their self-sufficiency and connection to the land. This technique, passed down from generation to generation, allows Amish families to make the most of the abundant summer harvests and minimize food waste. During the summer and early fall months, when fruits and vegetables reach their peak ripeness, the Amish harvest large quantities of fresh produce such as cucumbers, carrots, beets, tomatoes, strawberries, and apples, among others. Often, families work together in the harvest and preparation, turning the task into a community event where family and social ties are strengthened. The work is divided between adults and children, which also constitutes an important lesson for the young about responsibility and the value of collective work. Once harvested, the food is prepared for preservation. In the case of pickles, cucumbers are washed and cut, placed in large glass jars, and covered with a mixture of vinegar, salt, and spices such as mustard seeds, dill, garlic, and peppercorns. This mixture not only adds flavor, but also has a crucial function. Vinegar and salt act as antimicrobial agents, reducing the pH of the environment and preventing the growth of harmful bacteria. Thanks to this, pickles can be safely stored for long periods. In the case of jams and fruit preserves, techniques such as prolonged cooking with sugar are used, which acts as a preservative by inhibiting the growth of microorganisms. The Amish often make a wide variety of jams using fruits such as strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, and apples. These jams are poured into previously sterilized jars and then vacuum sealed, a process that involves heating them to create a negative pressure that ensures that air is kept out, thus eliminating any possibility of bacterial contamination. The storage of these products usually takes place in cool pantries or basements, where the low temperature contributes to better food preservation. These pantries, called root cellars, are built in such a way that the temperature and humidity remain constant, offering ideal conditions for storing not only preserves and pickles, but also fresh vegetables such as potatoes, carrots, and onions during the winter. The Amish have developed effective and sustainable strategies for ventilation and storage, taking advantage of natural techniques that date back generations. Natural ventilation is one of the main features of their homes and barns. Amish houses are usually built with high ceilings and strategically placed windows to create a cross-draft. This type of design allows for a constant flow of fresh air, which is especially useful during the hot summer months, keeping rooms cool without the need for electrical devices. The use of double-leaf windows is also common, as it facilitates partial or total opening to control the amount of air that enters, depending on weather conditions. This approach is not only environmentally friendly, but also reduces the risk of moisture, mold, and spoilage of food and other stored products. The Amish, also make sure that their houses have windows located at different heights to maximize the movement of hot air to the outside, which further improves ventilation efficiency. In addition, the design of their homes and barns includes sloping roofs that not only favor ventilation, but also allow heat to be harnessed during the winter. Hot air tends to rise and, with high ceilings, the lower part of the house stays cooler during the warmer months. In winter, however, fireplaces and wood-burning stoves located on the lower floors allow heat to be distributed naturally, with controlled ventilation that prevents the accumulation of smoke and humidity. As for high-rise storage, the Amish prefer to store products such as grains, seeds, and dehydrated vegetables in attics or elevated spaces. These spaces benefit from the dry, cold air that naturally rises, which contributes to the long-term preservation of these products. The attics are also designed with materials that facilitate the absorption of moisture in the environment, such as untreated wood, which allows the environment to be kept dry enough to prevent the growth of mold or the appearance of pests. This storage method also has a practical basis in protecting against animals and pests that commonly affect products stored at ground level. By keeping the grain at elevated levels, the Amish reduce the risk of infestation by rodents and other animals. Wooden containers or sealed barrels are used to ensure that the products are not exposed, and pre-smoking or drying techniques add another layer of protection to prolong their shelf life. Traditional methods of food preservation, such as drying, salting, fermentation, and cool storage, do not require electricity, making them a sustainable and useful option in areas without access to modern energy sources. These methods have been used for centuries, taking advantage of natural processes that inhibit the growth of bacteria and microorganisms, such as removing moisture or creating an acidic environment that hinders the proliferation of pathogens. Despite their value and sustainability, these traditional methods lack the precision offered by modern refrigeration technologies. Today, refrigerators and freezers allow precise control of temperature and humidity, providing optimal conditions to slow the growth of microorganisms and prolong the freshness of food. In addition, modern refrigeration not only preserves food better, but also guarantees food safety, reducing the risks of poisoning, something difficult to achieve with traditional methods due to the variability of environmental conditions. The use of advanced insulation materials and humidity control is crucial in the design and construction of energy-efficient and comfortable buildings. In Amish communities, although the most modern technology is not always adopted, there is a growing interest in efficiency and well-being in homes. Advanced insulation materials, such as cellulose insulation or polyurethane foam, have become attractive options due to their ability to reduce heat loss and maintain stable indoor temperatures throughout the year. These materials also minimize the amount of energy required for heating and cooling, which is beneficial both economically and environmentally. Humidity control is another key aspect that the Amish have begun to adopt in the construction of their homes. By using vapor barriers and breathable materials, they can prevent moisture buildup and mold growth, significantly improving indoor air quality. These techniques help maintain the longevity of wooden structures, which are prevalent in Amish architecture, and improve the health of the inhabitants, as mold and humidity cause numerous respiratory problems. The use of these materials also reflects a balance between traditional Amish values and a conscious approach to sustainability. The Amish value self-sufficiency and manual labor, and the use of good insulation materials allows them to maintain comfortable and self-sufficient homes, even without electric heating or cooling. All of these methods reflect a deep philosophy of self-sufficiency and an intimate connection with nature. By employing techniques that do not depend on external energy or modern technologies, the Amish show how it is possible to live sustainably and in harmony with the environment. These conservation practices also symbolize resilience and the ability to adapt to the seasons, without losing sight of the principles of simplicity and community. Preserving food without modern refrigeration not only ensures the freshness and safety of food, but is also a testament to ancestral wisdom and how humans can thrive by respecting natural cycles. This approach is a powerful example of how traditional technology, when used with respect and knowledge of the environment, can provide effective and sustainable solutions for the needs of everyday life. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the incredible art of preserving food fresh without the use of refrigeration.